Lieutenant Amanda Bynes was stoked. She graduated from the academy with honours and a lieutenant commission. While other cadets dreamed serving on ships in the wild frontier, she dreamed of here, Regala, Intergalactic Way Station. Ships from all over stopped to refuel and resupply, and maybe sell a few goods before moving on to their next destination. Far enough from the air to be safe, but still close enough for scout ships to report news from the outer systems. Where better to put her law degree to use? It wasn't all fun and games. For the last 6 months since she got there, Amanda's days had been spent mostly dealing in arbitration over cultural disputes. With over 1,000 different species planet-side on any given day, and each with their own customs and practices, problems were going to arise. She was happy, though. She was earning so much, but today she got her first big case. Sure, she was only second chair prosecuting a smuggling charge, but she was excited and couldn't wait to tell her friends. Amanda entered the bar and spotted her friend sitting at a table towards the back. The place was more crowded than usual, and as she squeezed her way through, Amanda accidentally bumped into a Celie, knocking her drink over. Amanda quickly apologized and bought her a replacement. The Celie's eyes glowed blue cobalt as she watched Amanda leave. After a while, as sometimes happens in a place like this, a fight broke out. A couple of Grenags were yelling at a Celie. Amanda thought it was the same one from before, but her eyes were glowing bright amber. She got up from her table and walked over to them. She had learned her first week, a simple trick on how to deal with these kind of situations. She quickly flashed her fleet badge and, in a loud stern voice, told them to move along or face a night in jail. So long as nobody looked closely at her badge, it should work most of the time. As the Grenags went back to the bar to order more drinks, Amanda checked to make sure the Celie was alright before returning to her friends. At the end of the night, Amanda was feeling fine. She may have had a few too many cocktails. As she was leaving the bar, she spotted a Celie with eyes glowing a brilliant emerald. What are the odds of seeing 3 cute Celie in a single night? She wasn't about to let this one get away. She did her best drunken flirting and pulled out some money from her pocket. She didn't have much. Just a few Renner bills she won in a poker game on the ship to Regalia. She wrote her information on the top bill and shoved the money into the Celie's hand and told her to meet her the next day, before stumbling off into the night, and her quarters where she probably passed out. The next day, still a little hungover, Amanda went to Fleet Headquarters ready to start work on a smuggling case. Instead, she was called into the commander's office. "Have a nice night last night, Lieutenant?"
Yes, sir. Me and a few other officers were kind of celebrating me getting assigned to the smuggling case."
"That's nice. Bump into any new people?"
"Bump into? Well, there was that Celie whose drink I spilled, but I apologized and bought her a new one."
I see. Anything exciting happening in the bar?"
"I guess you could say that, sir. A couple of Grenags were starting trouble, but I quickly quieted them down and sent them on their way."
Good. Tell me, was there a Celie involved in that incident?"
"Now that you mention it, yes, sir, there was."
"Mm-hmm. And tell me, what happened at the end of the night?"
"It's, kind of embarrassing, sir. As I was leaving, I saw another Celie, and she was really cute, and I was pretty drunk. I wanted to meet up with her again, but all I had to write my information on were a few bills in my pocket."
"Renner bills?"
Yes, sir. How did you know?"
"We'll get to that. How did you happen to come across Renner currency?"
"Poker game, sir. It was the last night on the Cascading Star. Me and a few ensigns assigned to Regala were playing when one of the ship's officers asked if he could join in. We told him it was a 50-credit buy-in, and he said all he had on him were these Renner bills. We shrugged, and since it was just a friendly game, we let him join in. He counted out 50 and sat down. When the game broke up, he walked away broke, and I kept the Renner bills. I usually carry a few for luck."
"Did you happen to see the denomination on the bills?"
100, sir."
"And do you know what the exchange rate for Renner in credits is?"
"It can't be that much, sir. It was only a 50-credit game."
100 Renner is worth 10,000 credits. You gave the Celie what amounts to 50,000 credits.
50,000? That's a year's pay."
"I know that. Did you know that, as a rule, the Celie don't drink alcohol? What you spilled and replaced last night was Quixer, a drink vital for them to live. That bar is one of the few establishments on the planet that sells the stuff. What do you know about the Celie?"
"Not a lot, sir. They're a species recently discovered from the outer systems."
"Well, let me educate you from what I learned this morning. Their eyes glow different colours, reflecting different moods in different situations. So you didn't meet 3 Celie last night, just 1. I also learned that when you offer a Celie nourishment, protection from enemies, and financial security, which you did, you're basically proposing marriage. I learned all this from a very irate father who also told me that she accepted. Congratulations, Lieutenant. I hope you have a lovely wedding."